heard from Mr. Keith David, who is the coordinator of conservation education, and now we turn to Mr. Calvin Samuel, and Mr. Samuel is actually the coordinator of environment and sustainable development. Welcome to Sunrise.
It's good to be here.
Good to have you. Now, we've heard a bit from the director, deputy director, and the coordinator of conservation education, and now we'd like to know what are the exciting achievements of 2009. 2009 is coming to a close. What are some of the achievements?
Well, those three colleagues are very tough acts to follow. But for 2009, being a new member of staff, the Department of Environment has passed two very important pieces of legislation, being the Biodiversity Heritage Act and the Convention on the International Trade of Endangered Species. Both of them have been accepted internationally, and I think it's only fair that we do this on the island perspective. Also, in 2009, I finished up some studies at the University of Exeter, where my research was in the assessment of a endemic plant. Anguilla is actually only endemic plant, Rondelletia anguillensis.
What is that in our language?
In our language, it's tough because I asked around the old people. I think the old people that have already passed along would probably know what it was called. But we just commonly refer to it as the anguilla bush. And it grows basically from Catooch all the way to Junksole, and only in limestone pavement. So there's news for you if you didn't know before.
Good to know. Okay, any other achievements?
Well, there's a National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, the Invasive Species Strategy, and the climate change workshop. We've actually held some climate change workshops with 5Cs, which went pretty well. They engaged other agencies like the Disaster Management, National Trust, Farmers Association, and the list could go on and on. All these agencies are interrelated, whether directly or indirectly, with environmental management.
And so the partnership there, are there any challenges? How?
Well, with any agency and where we're trying to forge networks, there will be challenges. I think it went pretty well, and we're still in the green stages. We're working on the green paper, hopefully to become a white paper in terms of addressing Anguilla's climate change policy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Are they okay? So we heard about the achievements of 2009. Any exciting initiatives for 2010?
The Sustainable Development Unit recently had a proposal granted so that we can do a biodiversity assessment on Little Scrub. And Little Scrub is the home of the endemic Amoeba corax, which is we call it the new black. And new black is here, and we call it Amoeba corax. It's a black lizard of Scrub Island, Little Scrub Island. There's also another lizard on Sombrero. I think most people have heard of that one, which is Amoeba corvina, another black lizard. And interestingly, we took a trip to Little Scrub this year, although the project will be implemented next year. We did a preliminary research and walkthrough, and we found a plant that might be endemic just to that island. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Maybe we can name it, after Kareem or Ron.
All right. Well, Thank you, Andre.
Yep. You're welcome.
Calvin Samuel.
Well, Andre is preferred.
Okay. Thank you very much. We now turn our discussion to Mr. Dallin Connor, who happens to be the coordinator of pollution prevention and control with the Department of Environment. Welcome to Sunrise in Rainbow City, Dallin.
Thank you.
Anguilla is a small island, and we don't really have, from the onset, we would say that we don't really have a problem with pollution. But I'm sure there are some elements of pollution nonetheless at a very minimal stage. So what are some of these pollution, the faces of pollution on small islands like Anguilla?
On small Anguilla, we're looking at sewage waste, solid waste with scrap metals and stuff. Oils. So we're looking at oils and gas, gas station. Frequently, they leak
Mhm.
Um,
Okay, so those are some of
Yeah.
the things that we should be concerned about. We have sewage, solid waste, such as scrap metals, and oils and gas stuff. Okay, what are some of the things that the public can do to minimize pollution?
The public can look at, with help with the cooperation, the environmental department can recycle and reuse, which use
The 3
most
R's.
the 3 R's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recycle, reuse, and reduce.
Reduce, exactly. Which we use material more than once. Also, the public can also treatment of waste with which is permitted and proper. Also, thirdly, public source reduction, which is tackle the problem at the source. Like if a building built, the use of the EIA process, we can solve issues before it
Escalate.
yeah,
Right.
before it escalate.
Okay.
Become a problem.
And the need for there is a need for all Anguillians to basically support the department in managing pollution and making sure that it doesn't become, it remains as it is, not a major problem, doesn't become.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.